Right, so I imagine a lot of you have seen on YouTube there's a lot of outdoor people doing their 5 top tips, I guess. I put 5 together. Can't say they're my top tips, but I think they're useful. I hope they are. First tip, we don't bloody come out on your own in the pouring rain like I have today. Oh god, it's horrible, but it's still enjoyable. Oddly enough, I can hear an ice cream van not too far away, but I'm a couple of miles from civilization, but anyhow. So, I've got 5 tips, and I had to write them down basically because it's like a full page of writing on my phone. I don't know if you can see it, but it's quite a lot. So, it's going to look unprofessional, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to keep looking at my phone. Basically, number 1. And this is definite number 1. Feet come first. Your feet always come first. Make sure you got the correct footwear. Make sure you got the correct socks. You know, you can have double layered socks or anti-blister socks. Spend a couple of quid on decent socks. Spend a few more quid on decent boots. Make sure they're suitable for what you're doing. I personally prefer the ankle high ones because they just give me a bit better support for when I'm scrambling over the rocks and through bog and things like that, and they stop my feet getting as wet as quick. I used to do leather all the time, but unless you're treating them and looking after them, protecting them and cleaning them off, they do perish quite easily, and then they become useless. So, you know, courses for horses, whatever suits you. Let's take this stupid bloody hat off, shall we? Don't need that on at the moment. It ain't even sunny. Put my hood back up. Now I just look like a chav in the woods. Anyway, you know, look after your feet. At the end of the day, they are the one thing that's definitely going to get you out of any trouble. No one else will, nothing else will help. You can't walk on your hands. Look after your feet. You know, take some of that blister tape, the zinc tape, if you want to use it, or if you can't afford it or don't want to buy it, grab some duct tape. It does the same thing. Right, next one I'd say, plan your route well. You know, I know these days we've got like the best detailed OS maps you could possibly get in the world. They're fantastic. Get yourself one, especially if it's an area you go walking quite often. Get yourself a nice OS map. Don't have to take it out with you always, just look at it at home so you know the terrain, you know what to expect when you're coming up, you know if there's going to be any steep hills and things like that, you know if there's going to be any rivers, streams, bridges to help you. Yeah, you know, plan your route well. You can even get OS on your phone, but I don't rely only on your phone. Batteries go dead, especially in the winter time when it's cold. You know, it's just one of those things. It's and when you're looking on maps, look on Google as well. Look on Google, it's really good. You can zoom in, drop that little yellow man wherever you want to have a look, and it just gives you an idea of what you're getting yourself in for, and ultimately it can help you pack better as well. You know, you just think, oh well, do I need climbing gear, for example? No, most of the time you don't. I never have taken any. I only own a rope, mind you, but yeah, you know, take note of the nearest shops, petrol stations, whatever, hotels to where you're going to be walking, and the general direction, whether it's going to be north of your area. You know, even if it's a main road, just take note of where they are. That's your quickest, fastest way to get to help. Obviously, if you haven't got phone reception or that. But just a bit of peace of mind as well. It's in the back of your mind, you know. Think, I'm never a mile and a half, 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever, from a shop. So, it's just peace of mind. And also you can get a bit more food, water, you know, whatever you want when you're there. Talking of water, that's my 3rd point, and this is probably a point which most people do. Take water. This is self-explanatory. There's a couple of different ways you can do it, really. You know, there's differing opinions throughout the outdoor world. Some people prefer to carry as much water as possible. I got to admit, I'm generally one of them people, but I like to carry a lot of weight. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just a mental thing for me. If I know I got everything on me, I know I'm alright. Yeah, it may weigh a bit more and ache my back a bit, but I'm used to it, so I wouldn't recommend someone going out there and taking, you know, 4 litres of water with them or whatever. But on a hot sunny day, just take your water with you. You know, the other way people do it is, you can take your filters, you know, and pump it as you go, but obviously then you've got to go back to your OS map and make sure you've got water sources nearby. I know you think, oh, we live in Britain, it rains all the time, there's water everywhere. Well, yeah, there is that, but also if you're in the summertime, I mean, I don't live too far from the Brecon Beacons, and it was about 4 or 5 years ago where, was it, 2 soldiers died doing the SAS. They did it on, I think it was the hottest day of the year at the time, it was 30 something degrees, and I don't know the exact length of these runs they do, but it's, you know, it's a ridiculous amount of miles, and they basically died of heat exhaustion. They fill their water as they go along, you know, they don't carry big bags full of water, but obviously when you're up on the mountain tops it ain't always as easy to find water, and you can overheat really quickly. And the third option really is what they call cameling it, where basically you just drink 1 litre, 2 litres of water before you go out, like a camel, load up on it, really hydrate yourself. I can't do that because I'll be peeing every 2 minutes, but it suits some people, and maybe even then you can still take a little bottle of water with you. So, you know, just think about it, plan what's best for you, but ultimately water keeps you alive. I'm sure you all know that. You don't need me to tell you. Sorry, I'm cooped up under a really you know, basic half-built shelter at the moment. I'm just waiting for this rain, which really wasn't forecast to pass, so I can get back out there and carry on finishing. I'm going to see if I can film it, because actually the rain at the moment is, don't know if you can see it, I'm going to try and zoom in, it's actually like snow, some of it. Well, imagine, alright, videos, that just looks like rain on our, what point did I get to? Is it water? Maybe. Well, my fourth point, a little bit contradictory, because I'm a really bad person for doing this. Hold my hands up. I do this every time I go camping, as long as it's a short walk. I don't do it if I'm on a big expedition or whatever. But my fourth point is, don't overpack. You know, it's so easy to do. You think, oh, do I need to take a gas bottle? Yes, obviously you do if you're taking a gas stove. Oh, with that gas bottle run out of bed, take another one. Don't take the other one. As long as it's a full gas stove, you're alright. You know, I'm really guilty of doing this, but a lot of my weight is beers, so not that it makes it good, but I can't go without my beers. You know, just make sure you know where you're walking, how far you're going for, so you know what to pack appropriately, whether you need any extra clothing. I'd be surprised if you do. You might need an extra jumper or whatever for the evening, but very rarely would you need extra clothing, especially if it's just for one night. I recommend it if you're new to hiking, just fill up a bag with what you think you might need, and then just do a local walk where you live, you know, a mile, 2 miles, whatever, just to see if you can handle it. If you can't handle it, then you know to reduce some, take some stuff out, try it again. And then eventually you'll figure out a nice, comfortable enough weight for you to start with. And then after a few hikes, when you've got that weight sorted, you'll realise you're a bit more comfortable with it now, and maybe you can add, you know, that extra beer next time or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to go out and have a bit of a practice with things first. And, you know, while you're practicing your weight on your bag, you can practice wearing your new boots as well and wear them in. Back to point one, look after your feet. And the fifth point, and this is one which is, I think is a good one actually, I don't think I've seen any other YouTubers say, and that is, don't race. You're not racing anyone. You're just out there to enjoy it, honestly. The amount of times I've gone up places like, I don't know, Pen y Fan and Snowdon, and you get people of all different physical abilities, and you get some people genuinely who go sprinting all the way to the top of Snowdon and back. With me, it's a 6-7 hour hike, regardless of which route I go. But, you know, I also stop for a few beers on the way up as well, apart from when I'm on Crib Goch, because I wait until I finish that ridge until I have my beers. But yeah, I mean, you're not competing with anyone. Just, if you're in a group of people, it's really important that you go the pace of the slowest person. You know, don't stress them, don't overrush them. If you do, they'll get uncomfortable, they might get, you know, overheated, they might get blistered, they might get really arsey. Morale will drop quick if you try and push someone to be as fast as you if they're not as fast as you. Just take your time, go leisurely pace, spend some time with them, you know, talk to them, just enjoy it. But yeah, really, you know, don't rush. The minute you start rushing, the minute you stop to enjoy it. I promise you. It's ooh, sounds like the rain's let up a bit now, is it? Oh, just about. I might be able to go back out and finish building this wall that I was just making. You'll see that on my other video. It's nothing interesting, it's just the wall to stop the wind freezing my ass off tonight when I'm sleeping in my tarp. My bivvy bag rather. So, you know, that's the 5 tips I would generally say. You know, there's millions of tips, but I think for me personally, don't overpack, don't race, pack water well or have a filter pump. Just make sure you're happy with the way you do your water. But water is important. Look after your feet, definitely look after your feet, and always plan your route well. When you're planning your route, by the way, I forgot to say, make sure you tell someone where you're going, especially if you're going on your own, and let them know how long you're going to be and when you're going to be back. Simple. You know, if worst comes to worst, peace of mind in the back of your mind, you know that someone does know that you are missing, or not ideally, but you could be. That's it really, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Sorry it's a bit of a boring video. I did want to film it out there, but it just pissed down, so yeah. I think I'm going to have a beer now. I carried them all the way up here, why not? Right, thanks for checking out the video. I'm not one of these people who can really tag other YouTubers to do things like this, because I've only just really started up, and I've only been talking and communicating with a few other YouTubers. I've mentioned some of them in videos before. But yeah, I hope you stay safe out there. Listen to my tips if you want. Help you at least enjoy it and be safe. So anyway, see you again. Bye.